Welcome to another session of the Brixton Inner Space podcast. So this week we're exploring the idea of trustees. And today I'm going to be looking at the trustee at work. If you think about the role of a trustee, it's in the job description, trust. You are in a privileged position of trust, usually with some major responsibilities. And generally speaking, trustees are at the level of the highest level of leadership, where they have been given the responsibility to manage the assets of a big charity foundation. And so usually the foundation has existed for many years. It could also be that the founder left a will and established the trust. So that trustee is in effect representing the original founder. So at work, if you are the boss, then you have that highest position. But for the majority of people, we go to work, we can be in a management or leadership position, but ultimately it's not our ultimate responsibility. As they say, the buck does not stop with us. And so there can be this feeling that I only need to do what I'm paid to do, and that's good enough. If you're obsessed with work and you spend a lot more time, are you still providing value? So that's another question as well. So for leadership positions, they need to take a wider view. It's not just individual pieces of work, but are your customers or your clients satisfied? Are you providing value to shareholders if you have those? Are your employees content? And so on. Is the building in good shape? Are your insurance premiums paid up? Do you have enough money in the bank in case of any emergencies and so on? So it's endless. And so those people in that position at the highest level have a lot of responsibilities. And if you were to worry or think about all of these different responsibilities, it can be quite overwhelming. And so, as a trustee at work, you can take on this kind of role of looking at the bigger picture whilst fulfilling your specific duties. And at the same time, by looking at the bigger picture and thinking about all of the things that I mentioned, you can find ways to offer value to the company, to the organization. And at the same time, because you're a trustee, you have an understanding that you are standing in. You are a proxy. You're in a position of trust representing, if you like, the owner or the founder or the foundation, etc. And so there's this balance between fulfilling your responsibilities and at the same time understanding that the buck does not stop with you, that you are in a position of trust. So you don't need to think too deeply about what if this and what if that and so on. That ultimate responsibility is handed over to the founders. And so in the area that we're really interested in, which is personal development, how does that work? If I am operating as a trustee at work, that means I can do my tasks, I can look at the broader picture, I can add value in ways that are not directly connected to my role. And so you can do more than just the tasks that are your direct responsibilities. So in terms of self-development, the ultimate goal is for me, not only improve myself, but in doing so, improve the state of the world. And if you look at what's happening in the world, then clearly there's a lot of things that are negative, a lot of areas where people are struggling, and life is very difficult. And so if I'm able to do what I need to do for myself, and I have that capacity, then I can take on that role of a trustee and do more to add more value to a better world. Take a deep breath. Think about all the tasks that you've completed in the week. How much satisfaction you got from delivering all of those tasks. Of course, if you're not able to meet all your responsibilities, that becomes a point of stress. But then again, you need to go back and say, what can I do so the next week I'm able to meet my responsibilities and actually create a bit of space, look at the bigger picture and do that a little bit more. And so step by step, if I'm able to meet my personal responsibilities and I'm able to do that efficiently, then I have the capacity to do a little bit more and contribute towards a better organization, a better world, a better tomorrow. Take that deep breath, let go of all of the tension, let go of all the worries, the unnecessary things that really don't affect you directly, and that even if things do impact you, there's not much you can do about it. And so for me, a tip is stop watching the news. It really does very, very little to your well-being. And most of the things that are being reported these days aren't things that the individual can impact. So all we can do is just do what we're responsible for. Create space to then do a little bit more and then find ways and means to contribute a little bit to the improvement of society. Deep breath, let go. And again, deep breath and let go. With every breath that I take, I accept my responsibilities. I understand that as a trustee, I need to meet and fulfill my responsibilities. And that as much as possible, by letting go of unnecessary worries and unnecessary things that I can't impact or influence, I create some room that allows me a little bit of space, a little bit of freedom to do just a little bit extra. So have a great week and think about fulfilling your responsibilities as a trustee and then just creating that space to do a little bit extra.